Hey, hello there. Welcome to another episode of Making Myself. This one is gonna be a little bit different because I just checked that the last few episodes have been always about like how to, getting better at feeling bad and going through the lows and all that stuff and all the pain and like, oh shit, oh, sorry. I felt like I can be a little bit more uplifting or touching themes a little bit more brighter now. So yeah, like I think those are interesting and also needed. But again, like I want to contrast a little bit with the good stuff. And I was checking the main topics or the main mental models that are being visited at makingmyself.com. I just checked, and I saw the first mental model, which you might know already by the title, um, which is the most visited so far, the build, measure, and learn, which is something that comes from Eric Rice. It's kind of applying the scientific method to towards startups and business creation. But we can apply these to anything, and that's how powerful mental models are, right? Like we can apply it to the good ones are abstract enough that if we understand the concepts, we can apply it to anything really, to the business world, to the personal world, and that's what's powerful about it, right? So basically, the build, measure, learn is a mental model from, well, we put it in the context of the lean startup methodology, is just to turn business ideas into products while minimizing market risk, right? It's, hey, I have some knowledge about something, so I have a hypothesis, right, that I want to test. So I'm going to build something. I'm going to do a small experiment that I need to measure, right, with specific metrics, to put it in in contrast with reality and see if that actually is working or not. You analyze these KPIs or sorry, like KPIs, um, it's key indicators, but those metrics or whatever you want to call it, right? And you analyze them, so you put a little bit more of knowledge to your knowledge base, right? So you keep learning, and this is like a constant iteration. So you learn, you generate more hypotheses, you keep on building, right? You add more layers of sophistication, or you change specific things on how to test it and experiment. So you put it in contrast with reality. Then you keep measuring, you keep learning, you keep building, you keep measuring, right? And so on and so forth. And the faster that you go, the faster you're gonna reach into you're gonna be aligned with reality, and that's the idea, or with your hypothesis, right? Because in the end, our minds, we can imagine a lot of things, but then it might differ a lot from the reality itself, or what are the needs or the rules of the physical world, how they align with your specific hypothesis. And that's of course the scientific method, and you can apply that to startups, which I'm a nerd about. I really like startups and all related to startups. Um, but you can apply it to anything really. It's applied in physics and in science, right? But let's imagine, I don't know, if you try to find your partner because you are single, you have uh, a specific knowledge base already, right? You have a hypothesis on how to meet your next partner or your love partner for the future. You experiment as well, right? Like, or maybe you want to give it a, I don't know, like code lines or go into specific places or do a specific action in terms of finding and meeting your partner. Then you measure the results, right? Maybe you measure in terms of number of dates or number of I don't know, whatever you want, whatever you want to measure the success of finding your partner, and then you keep on learning, right? If those measurements are not aligned with what you thought, and again, like it's implicitly, I'm talking about failures, right? Because the learning normally comes from failures. If you learn by winning, that's awesome. That's the best case scenario, right? But normally, we learn more from failures than wins, right? So we keep on making a hypothesis, experimenting, measuring the results and the outcomes, and we include those measurements and analysis to adding more layers of value into or learn or your knowledge base, basically, right? So that's kind of the test, or not the test, the mental model that Eric Rice applied to startups. And of course, I gave this funny example about finding a partner, but you can use it for anything, really. And if you want to create a specific business, that's a great model to follow up on. I'm actually really happy that this is one of the first models at the repository at makingmyself.com. Um, and I have a few more that I will comment in future episodes. But yeah, like maybe you were already familiar with it, but normally it's good to remind that stuff, right? And it's good also to know that you can apply it into different disciplines or different areas in your life to make again, like always, better decisions and having a better quality life. So yeah, thanks so much for listening, and I guess that I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.